Making a video. Yeah, having kind of a creepy day, so I said, what the hell, make a video. Um, anyway, so I was just thinking about the determinism subject, because, I got this stuff to do, and blah, blah, blah. And it's got me thinking about the brain and all this other kind of crap, and then I started thinking about mystic videos and how they're just lame and vacant lately. And I was just thinking of this optimized performance idea, just now thinking about it. I haven't really thought about it. I'm just thinking about it now while making this video. But it's just sort of an interesting idea. This, how do we, if we could do this thing all the way to the end? Like, okay, there's no God. We might as well figure out what's the best way to configure a human being, to be happy and productive. And that's sort of where we're at. We sort of know what ruins humans. Having a crack whore for a mommy and that kind of shit, having a deprived and deprivated childhood. Lots of things will ruin you. We know that, certain edification, certain higher activities, mental activities, would probably be conducive to a richer experience of life, and in the sense that it won't be, you're just not a drunken idiot all the time or something. But even that's a good way to describe it, is that you would think optimum performance would be that you wouldn't have to be on hallucinogenics or, just retardetics. I guess that's what alcohol would be. Fucktarderizers. And then all the other pharmaceutical style chemistry used to mood alter and take people away, Calgon and such. But it's just this idea, like, there's a performance level that we would just mechanically say this one's probably the optimum performance level. The least has to go in and it gets the most comfort out, and it pulls the cart the furthest on the track. Whatever the productivity quotient is, which starts to get dicier and dicier, right, as we move into this new world. The future. You will get to this point where, we're already to the point where the human doesn't have much use, in terms of being a producer. They still have use in certain countries, but a small number of people can be highly productive and create enough product for everybody. And so we're getting sort of to the point where, our lives might be highly dependent on machines doing the labor and us doing a lot of this leisure thing. You would think we'd be so much further along, but we're doing all this work for, doing silly crap, all these service jobs, doing crap that doesn't add up to anything, bureaucracy bullshit, and manicuring this and trimming that, and there's very little real work. It's all kind of shit work. We really should be somewhere on the road past that. But anyway, so that kind of breaks the model that I'm playing with in terms of the future, because it looks like the future's just going to be crap. But anyway, I think we are very disposable. So I think that's what I'm trying to get to, is that the rich won't have a use for us because we won't be able to make them money. And so, they won't need us anymore. Anyway, that's a side subject. But it's just this performance issue, this idea of what are we really after? And if you really start to think about that, it does, it helps create that sense of trivialness that I kind of want people to get an idea of, that this is all kind of a trivial pursuit, this life-living nonsense, and that all you're really doing is creating a problem that needs to be solved, and so you're giving the little human a task like a rat in a maze, and giving it a reward if it accomplishes the task, and it seems that's all we got. That's all the game really is create some little obstacle give it its joy and its happiness and its comfort, and there's not anything else happening. It's hungry and eat, and the rest of it's just superfluous to that function. And it's almost humiliating to realize that that's really all our functionality as individuals comes down to. Now, we happen to live in a world that's colossally fucked up, so we can gain usefulness points for our function by cleaning up some of the mess that exists in the world, so we can gain some sort of more meaningful purpose, more substantial function, in mitigating against the tornado blowing someone's house down, or whatever the hero function you would have is, coming to the rescue. But again, the basic mechanism is just a machine feeding, chasing a thing called comfort, and we do it in these bizarrely diverse and fundamentally not compatible ways, because we do oblige each other to subsidize our entertainments, and it all gets really quite nonsensically expensive when you think of all the crap you're paying for. The sports stadiums, the child care, all the, somebody decides they want, they're going to be entertained by, and somehow all of us have to pay for their entertainment. And the quality of our own lives is diminished, to create their entertainment, to provide for it. So I mean, but it's all generic, whether you're rooting for the Mets or you're rooting for the Yankees. I mean, logically you should know that doesn't make any difference. And then you could just go from baseball to soccer, doesn't make any difference. You could go from professional sports to the Olympics and figure out that doesn't make any difference. And you're not going to find a place where it starts to make a difference until you get into something where, scientists trying to cure cancer, well, that sort of can make a difference. And that's maybe where you should be entertained by that conquest, or that pursuit, or that challenge, rather than these silly, contrived contests of absolute nonsense. So we got 7 zillion movies and all kinds of genres, because we all have these different sensibilities, and some people like drama, and some people like comedy, some people like comedic drama, which doesn't make much sense. It's all just very messy, sloppy, not to have standards. It's like with anything, you want to have functionality. You want the parts to be replaceable, plug and play kind of a game. You don't want all this proprietary. You're a PDF and I'm a FLV, and he's a COM, and he's a org, and I mean all this, it just doesn't work rationally. It's just too much waste based in all of that, and it's really just ego, that like with racism, it's just some sort of nonsensical notion of betterness, of more beautiful, but the standard could be anything. What other animals perceive as beautiful is completely different than what we perceive as beautiful. It's just a sensual reaction, a reflex. The reflex can be programmed to think almost anything, and we're just subjectively attached to our own personality and our own sensibilities, and because it is repulsive to us, we tend to think it's repulsive throughout the universe. or that it should be. And obviously it's not, like rap music. I don't get it. Yeah, it should be banned throughout the universe. Racket, noise, crap. Anyway, but clearly we're just programmed, subjective beings. None of these things that we think are better things are actually better things, or better ways to get off. It's all just a wank. It's all just, gob. It's all just crap in the gob. Chew, chew, swallow, yum, yum. And it can be almost anything that we find. Well, food's a good example, because you can see how it's just cultural traditions, habits that define your tastes. And they could be completely different. Just by changing the circumstance of your birth, or your maturation, or even your exposure. I'm sure there was people who didn't think to even try Chinese food, and then they tried it and they said, wow, this is great, wonderful. Other people tried it and said, oh, that was disgusting and horrible. But point is, it's all quite arbitrary, in the sense that there's no real credibility to this thing we call subjective taste. It doesn't mean anything. And if we really want to do the human organism a favor, we would just duke it out, have a contest, pull it from a lottery system or something, just decide a winner, and say we're done with this bullshit. There's just no point in all this diversity. It's just kind of caustic to function. It just creates a bunch of friction that's going to get you all killed in the end. You or your prodigy, your familiar prodigy, something or that's related to you is going to get squished by this shit. But even that, there's no logic to that. These subjective attachments to people for completely erroneous connections. They're the fourth cousin of a fourth cousin or something, and somehow that's supposed to mean something. It's all so very stupid. And so that's what it does for me, that conversation, that perception. It just makes me realize even more, just all this chasing, all this bullshit. It's just so inane. It's just so base, crude. There's just no character to the substance of our life. The substance of our life has no character. So many little bits of what we can do that has any real substance or meaning or function, and that the basic mechanism is just a need machine, and they're all programmed eccentrically and needing way different things, and it just creates a bunch of conflict and division. It just gives us more need, to find ways to trip each other up and sabotage each other, and most of our lives is built around this conflict that shouldn't even exist if we were rational. Anyway, I believe that's enough. A sufficient amount. So, looks like they fixed the stinky manhole. Yeah, it was a little stinky sometimes. I think it's, it's outgassing a little bit. It's the stink pipe. It's not a, whatever you call it. It's not street water. It's not like wastewater. It's the actual stinkums go through that one. And every now and then, boy, whew, it would let out a smell that was not too good. But I think everybody could agree it was no good. that would suit no one's subjective tastes. Anyway, I said anyway already, but enough. And such. So, till next time. And so forth. It's kind of lovely, but yeah, I'm just got the creeps today. Creeps.